Hello Gemini, welcome to your weekly horoscope. This is for Gemini suns and Gemini risings as well as progressed Geminis as well. So this is from Monday the 10th of June through to Sunday the 16th of June, my loves. Let's jump into it. I feel like you guys are going to be having a little bit of a weird week when it comes to your career and with, I don't know, feeling just a little bit like at odds. It feels like at odds with how you're being perceived, maybe even at odds with like the work that you actually need to be putting in at the moment. It feels like this is a week of you being really made aware of how much work that you're needing to put into building what it is that you are currently creating career-wise, because you have Saturn in the 10th house at the moment and it's squaring the Sun this week. And you've had Venus squaring it all weekend last week. So, you know, it's like this is really waking you up to where you're needing to put time in, you're needing to put work in, you're needing to put effort in. You're needing to sort of like look at things in a little bit more of like a solid way. It feels like this energy of needing to spark a new sort of excitement for your career. I don't know if maybe things are starting to feel a little stagnant or a little boring or a little bland, especially with Saturn being there, but it's like this week is a week where things aren't feeling so boring and things aren't feeling so stagnant anymore. We start off the week with a really powerful T-square between Pluto and Aquarius in your 9th house, Mars in your 12th house, in Taurus, and the moon in Leo in your 3rd house. And I do have to say that my dog is outside being a dick, paying like all over the place, and I can feel him being like, Mom! So you guys might be feeling like you have animals hanging off you when the moon's in Virgo in the 4th house. You know, it kind of feels like this week is like, it feels like a lot of energy pulling on you. And I feel as though that massive T-square that's between your 9th, your 12th and your 3rd is you really having to sort of slow things down and to think things through this week. Don't be saying anything that's too like spontaneous and wild. You know, this could be the energy of like getting in a bit of an argument with your boss and you just say like the craziest shit, you know, and it's like, whoa. So it's definitely a week this week where it's like, take a chill pill on the communication a little bit. You have so much going on in your sign, Gemini. You just had a Venus Sun Cazimi in your sign, and now you're having a Mercury Cazimi this week. So it's all happening in your 1st house. So there's a huge change that's coming in over the past 2 weeks and into this week that's coming that is still all about you shifting. This has been a very strong season for you. You had the Jupiter move into Gemini in your season. Jupiter's now in your sign. So there's a lot of growth around who you're sharing yourself as, who you're becoming, your identity. And I think it has a lot to do with your actual career. And at the end of the week, we're going to be having the moon make her opposition with Neptune. So, you know, that's going to be really intense. It's going to be in your 4th house. So it's going to be still, look, 10 of Pentacles coming up. There's a lot of family stuff coming up. There's a lot of career stuff coming up. So it's like this weird sort of push and pull between work and home. That's definitely like the biggest thing for you guys is work and home. It feels like there are definitely things. Look, oh my God, 10th house. This is a massive week. I mean, 10th house. See how I said 10th house, but it's actually the 10 of Cups. So, you know, this is actually giving me really positive energy. It's almost like maybe this is an energy this week of the pressure's already been on, and this is the week where it's like letting it go a little bit. With the 10 of Pentacles and the 3 of Cups, you guys have a lot of people around you. There's family and friends around you this week that are feeling really inspirational. It's bringing you a lot of joy. This is a week of finding a lot of joy. I think it's a joy through maybe even achieving something career-wise. Like maybe you sort of actually like, you know, get the client, or you do something that's you've been working towards for a long time, and so everyone's like in this celebration sort of energy. But I like it. I feel like it's a really positive week for you, even though there's a lot of pressure. This pressure cooker energy is, you know, pressure is what makes diamonds. So if you want to become a diamond, you have to place yourself under pressure. And that's the thing, Gemini. I feel like with Saturn being in your 10th house and squaring you, and especially with the Sun being in a square at the moment this week with Saturn, it's definitely like you being pulled up to the plate. It's a lot about you having to sort of like step up into this stronger identity when it comes to who you are in career. You know, this is giving me the energy of someone who has always been, you know, a waitress, and now they're like moving up to manager. It's time for you to become the manager. And, you know, look, we have victim coming out for you guys fucking again. I am sure you guys got the victim last week. So this is the thing, and especially around your career, you're not a victim in your career, to your career, any of that stuff. You have the possibility, the potential to change anything. You guys are really, with Mars being in your 12th house at the moment, you guys really have an opportunity to connect with spirit, to connect with nature, to connect with the divine, and to allow that energy to guide you in this really sort of like, you know, intuitive way. It's being guided by a feeling rather than like, you know, always being guided by logic. And of course, logic is extremely important, especially for you, Gemini. But with these squares to Saturn in Pisces, this is you needing to find the balance between both and doing your research and doing your Gemini thing and being like, well, these are the facts, but also being able to have a little bit of faith, because Pisces is the faith. And if you don't have faith in your facts, well, then, you know, facts will get you so far, but you also need to sort of meet life with some faith. Your opposition is Sagittarius, so, you know, you guys sometimes can feel really like you don't like having beliefs and shit like that. It's like, I don't like being like too woo-woo, but this is definitely, with Mars being in your 12th house, it's like, let's be a little woo-woo. Let's have a little bit of fun. Like I said, the T-square was between your 12th, your 9th, and your 3rd, so it's a massive change in your, the way you see things, the way you're looking at life, maybe the way you're looking at your career. The victim, says, prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. The shadow attributes is playing the victim for positive feedback in the form of pity, inability to maintain personal boundaries. So underneath that, we also have the beggar, which says confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. The shadow attribute is dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. So that's the thing. There's no more dependency with you guys, Gemini, with all this in the first. It's definitely about you stepping up and leveling up, especially with Saturn being in your 10th. These squares between the 10th and the 1st are like, well, I no longer, with this companion, I can no longer rely on my partner or my friends or anyone to sort of like, you know, be the one that's going to get me across the line. You have to get yourself across the line now. Victim and beggar is saying that there's a self-empowerment issue that you've had, where it's been like, maybe even with Uranus being in your 12th house since 2018, it's like all of a sudden there's been this like weird uncertainty with whether you feel like you can actually get to the goal. And I feel like this week is going to help you see through that and help you see a little bit clearer again. It's not all going to be easy, but it's definitely going to be a week of joy and of, you know, you have two 10s out here, 10 of cups and 10 of pentacles, so you couldn't really have any better. I love it. So, you know, it's really about your attitude, and that's the thing. This square at the start of the week is going to be really putting pressure on your attitude, and I feel like you guys are going to decide, well, I don't want to be a sour sack of shit, so I'm just going to improve the way I think and the way I feel about things. It's like really, it's like giving me simple energy. All right, you guys have the Oracle. Wait for important information. So you guys must, it feels like you guys might have been waiting on something. Over the past few weeks, you've been waiting for something, or you've been waiting to get the get-go, and it's like this week you get the get-go, and it's like, boom, let's go, phew, fire, wow. We have You Are Not Alone with Guardian Angel. So you guys, like I was saying, it's very much being in a spiritual energy this week, because you are really protected. You know, you have God out here, and you have Guardian Angel, so it's very much like, with Saturn being in a square to you guys in Pisces, it's like you guys are really connecting with spirit and connecting with God in a way that feels really tangible and doesn't feel so like I said before, like the woo-woo thing is not really a thing. It's more so like, let's actually have some tangibility to this. And I feel like you guys this week are really finding a beautiful balance between being a little bit woo-woo and being like, oh my God, I'm so provided for by spirit. And I also am provided for because I've been putting the motherfucking work in. You know, you've been doing the thing. We have Peacekeeper that says let go of the need to be right, and so that could definitely be coming up with this potential argument maybe that we're having at work, or just argument that comes up with a sibling, definitely as well, could be a sibling, but you guys might be getting a fight this week, and it's like, you know what, the best thing you could do is just, who cares if you're actually right and they're wrong but they fight harder than you, like just drop it. this is not really an energy of like needing to keep pushing. This elder says move beyond ancestral patterns. So there's definitely like a pattern in the family that maybe says, let's fight, let's argue, let's blah, 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 blah. And at the moment it's like, no, just chill the fuck out, okay? We're needing to do things a little bit differently this week, especially when it comes to like conflicts. If you have any sort of conflicts coming up this week, or even just like you getting really in your feels with Mars being in the 12th house at the moment, it's like, whoa, I'm really feeling my feels. So, you know, let go of this need for your emotions to be a certain way. Let go of the need for anything to be a certain way. This is not a time where it's all going to be perfect and, you know, set in stone. Like I said, this huge T-square is between your 9th house, your 12th house, and your 3rd house. So that's all mutable energy. That's all energy that's changing and you know, it's not fixed. It's not fixed. So even though you have fixed signs ruling these mutable houses, it's a bit weird for you because, like I just said, they're fixed signs ruling mutable houses. These are parts of your life that are subject to change, and yet you have this mentality that they need to be fixed, set in stone, that this needs to happen by a certain date, that this needs to be done by this time, you know, that this connection needs to be made by here, and blah, blah, blah. It's like this overdoing it is what I'm getting, overdoing it. So let yourself fucking chill a little bit. Move beyond these ancestral patterns of always having to be right and having to have everything so like boom, 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 boom. Chill. The more you chill this week and rest into your family and relax and have fun family times and, you know, just all that sort of stuff, the better you're going to feel, my loves. So I'm going to leave this reading here, Gemini. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please do give me a thumbs up if you did. It helps to spread this video to more beautiful Gemini souls, and let me know in the comments whether you feel like sharing anything, what's going on with you, if you have any suggestions and all that sort of stuff. I really enjoy hearing your feedback. I would like to thank your angels, your ancestors, your higher self, your spirit guides, all the beautiful benevolent beings that are surrounding you and I in all moments for allowing me to receive and to deliver this message to you. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do that through the links down below. Make sure you check out your channeled songs as well as these readings for any other sun progressed risings that you have, and I will see you next week, Gemini. Peace.